And we're back here with some more PCL action. Game number 2 in the quarterfinals between Bronze Army and Arctic Wolves. And we're back into the draft here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for yet another game in the quarterfinals. Remember, we do have one more after this. But Gems, we have yet to see a ban in this game. Are you excited?
And well, we have seen a ban now. So
Okay,
and
there
it
you
is
go.
changing it up. It is a Grux ban, which is different to what we saw before. It is what I was saying. Arctic Wolves have the first ban. They don't go for the Gideon ban, which leaves Gideon open. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arctic Wolves first picks Gideon straight away, which is exactly the scenario I set up in the first game where we saw Bronze Army went for a Gideon ban on when they were first pick, which was odd, and it ended up giving away a number of strong heroes. And this time, Arctic Wolves has the option to go for that Gideon that's been left open.
So now, not only do Bronze Army ban out the Gideon first, now they don't ban it at all, which leads to Arctic Wolves picking it up in the first slot. It's almost as if they kind of figured that the Gideon would be let through.
Yeah, they probably want to get a lot of interrupts here, try and set up a way to stop him even getting into position, try punish him in the early stages of the game so he doesn't get the power behind the ultimate. But again, I feel like their pick ban phase has been lacking a little bit in terms of the ordering of what they've been choosing to ban. In the first game, they ended up basically giving away a ban, I believe. They didn't need to. And this game looks to be the same, letting the Gideon through.
Well, oh boy, they're going to go for the Shinbi and the Aurora first on Bronze Army. Maybe a little bit caught into question their drafting strategy, but we'll have to see how this game goes for them as well as the rest of this draft if we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Rampage and Narbash picked up next for Arctic Wolves, and it's looking like they, again, have a very strong crowd control combination.
Yeah, however, Bronze Army's comp is looking a lot stronger than before. Shinbi and Aurora do very well. That leads me to believe it might be what? Aurora support? Aurora jungle potentially is what's interesting me. See how that plan plays out for them.
Yeah, with the Shinbi already picked up, it will be interesting where Bronze Army decides to put the Aurora. I've actually seen a lot of support Aurora for NA. I believe Crazy Full Mave played a little bit of it. One person that I love seeing on support or Aurora actually is the Oracle from HTC. I think his support Aurora is actually extremely good, and I've seen him hit very well in the early game, although your support Aurora is generally not as strong as a hero can be used.
Yeah, I do like the Richter pickup as well. Strong jungler, as we've been seeing. Aura support. I mean, I'm really thinking Richter's in the jungle now and Aurora support. I don't really see jungle Auroras at all. It's really weak clear in the early stages. So I'm leaning support Aurora, as you mentioned, with the jungle Richter.
As you said, you do like Richter inside the jungle, so it does make sense for Bronze Army to put him over there. Could see some good pulls coming out from Grievertron. I've seen some really good Richters, and we've seen some not so good Richters today. So hopefully Griever is able to get that going. But that turns the tables over to Arctic Wolves. Lieutenant Belka going to be the pickup from them, which is interesting considering they already have a Gideon and a Narbash. So might be seeing the return of offlane Belka.
That or it's a no carry lineup from Arctic Wolves, so they might not even pick a carry potentially. Maybe running sort of a duo mid sort of composition with single lanes. Yeah, there's the phase. So
Okay. Okay, so that's what it is. We've seen a lot of teams try to run this with the insane healing that can come out of phase, and then the addition of Narbash into that. Teams like to go support phase, carry Narbash, and that seems to be what's happening here. Arctic Wolves having a little bit of fun this one. It's actually really, I'm just going to say really dumb and hard to kill, this combo. So I think Bronze Army should be a little bit scared of this one. But if you can shut it down, it definitely isn't as effective.
yeah, their late game damage does fall off heavily. It's sort of an early game snowball. If we get this early, we've won, but late game, you end up really falling off hard in terms of overall damage. Yes, you're hard to kill, but you also don't output much. which is kind of an issue, and Shinbi can really wreck through that.
All right, so Bronze Army with potentially a second wind in their sails here in game number 2. We'll see how it goes down in 3, 2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for party time here in the PCL number 11. Bronze Army versus Arctic Wolves. Arctic Wolves currently up 1-0. The first time that we're personally seeing their new kind of lineup here in the PCL. And we'll go through and introduce the teams. Here for the Bronze Army is going to be CMS Stark playing the Shinbi. We've got Corius playing the mid lane Gadget. Grievertron will be playing the Richter inside the jungle. Nobori, he's going to try to get down and dirty with the Drongo. And then finally Miso Sneaky playing up the Aurora.
And on the red side, we have Arctic Wolves with Crazy Fool on the face, Survivor on the Narbash, Cranky Trash Can on that Rampage, Talreno on the Gideon, and God Eater on that Bellica.
So it will indeed be the offlane Bellica and carry Narbash.
Carry Narbash. How effective this will be, we're going to have to see, but the CC chain can be phenomenal in this lane. I don't think CMS Tark is actually going to have any sort of way of killing them, as you've been saying. The regen is pretty crazy. But then again, do they have the damage after a couple of levels to actually kill the Shinbi?
I'm interested to see when the tower dives are going to come through. Do you really have that much healing with the combo in order to put it to Stark, who's already taking some damage here? Survivor forcing him away. FaZe is about to come around from the other side with the energy lance, and Survivor, he's going to have the root there for the first blood. As soon as we're talking about how viable this combo is, they go in, say, you know what, guys, we got this. They'll get the first blood. And poor Shinbi, honestly.
Yeah, the early game damage of Narbash from these auto attacks and Thunk is incredibly high, so as long as they get the snowball going, I think they're going to be okay. But this is the thing, if they fall behind at any point, they're going to just completely lack any damage whatsoever to actually close out a match, which is kind of the problem with the composition.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that this combo works especially well in version 44, but they're going to go for it again. There's the root, there's the Thunk, there's the rock. CMS Stark is having so much problems surviving against this. When he does stay alive there, finally gets his level 2. Man, Stark is really having the hammer dropped on him today.
Yeah, it's going to be really rough, and they're still going for him. They're just not
going to go for it again. They have more than enough sustain for this as well. Survivor comes on through. Griever is going to be there, but the tower is actually attacking Cranky Trash Can. So that might have been who he wanted to go for. Cranky, can he stay alive? Grievertron can't get through. Cranky Trash Can is going to run for the wall. That electro therapy right there from Grievertron is going to give Cranky Trash Can probably some new brains in there, because, you know, electricity can really mess with your brain. If you ever tried it, I advise you not to. But in any case, it's going to be a 2-for-1 in that lane.
Sound like you're talking from experience there, Biff.
You ever wonder why I'm so weird?
No, I kind of just go along with it.
Okay,
you know?
That's fair enough. In any case, caster weirdness aside, haha. We're going to see Talreno making his way over to the left lane with the Shadow Plane buff. He's only level 3. I don't really know why he's here. I think he's probably trolling a little bit. He's just kind of looking at them for now. God Eater really doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with, and Miso Sneaky is ready to go on to him. Puts down the Horror Frost, and there's going to be a Seismic Assault into the Meteors. Talreno ready to put the big damage on the Miso Sneaky, looking to get one more hit for the kill. He's diving the minions for this one. Nabori almost can't even get out either. Cranky Trash Can, he's probably going to dive the tower. Of course he would. He's a Cranky Trash Can. He's going to go for it. He's tanking up the tower for God Eater, who goes on through. Gets the kill. Cranky Trash Can stays alive. Corius is going to find the kill on Talreno, but does he get anything else? He puts a hat on the Cranky Trash Can and finally puts a lid onto that Rampage.
Yeah, that aggression might have been a little bit too much here from Arctic Wolves. So getting a little bit ahead of themselves here, they end up losing a couple of kills there on the board, and that didn't necessarily need to have happened. It looks like this duo lane's having a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, just a little bit. They had Crazy Fool get caught out by Richter, who got... Grievertron got a really nice hook, almost got another one onto Survivor, but they're starting to get to the point where they need some levels to be a bit more effective against the Shinbi, who may find it a little bit easier to get some aggression onto this duo.
Yeah, Shimby has it's probably going to try and grab that Spriking potentially in the next back, if possible. Makes it pretty difficult to kill, even with all the early game damage you see from Narbash. It's just going to be rough. I mean, we got double possessed Spriking on these two guys as well. This lane literally don't want to die. They've gone for early game regen and health regen, along with all the passive regen that both of them provide. That is some serious survivability right there. I mean, I don't know. The issue is if they get split up, they don't really do much, to be honest. Like,
I think Cranky Trashcan is looking for Griever, who he did manage to hit a couple times as he went for the green buff, but they've gone over to the right lane. Stark is making his way over there as well. Miso Sneaky starts it off with Hoarfrost, doesn't really catch out too much with it. Crazy Fool needs to stay alive here. He absolutely has to on the face. The Glacial Charge is going to make things difficult, but Stark is going to go on through on the Crazy Fool. He's taking damage from the tower, and the Energy Lance is going to keep him there. Crazy Fool is staying alive. The Black Hole underneath the Tier 1 tower. Torino is going to shut the door on top of Bronze Army's fingers here, and they're going to lose 3 going for a lowly phase.
They underestimate that regeneration capabilities, and they ended up getting punished for it. I mean, yeah, they didn't have much damage between Crazy Fool and Survivor, but they survived long enough for Torrena to rotate and just provide a black hole for the sweep up, and that's what all they needed. And Bronze Army ended up getting really punished right there, thinking they had enough damage to kill those two guys.
That's just a misconception of going against FaZe. She was so weak for so long, and now you're like, oh, well, we can just kill this poor little punk chick, and then it turns out they definitely can't.
Yeah, and we're just looking at the gold right now. It's a 6k lead over to Arctic Wolves, and there hasn't been a single Fangtooth taken yet. So if they actually manage to capture this, it's going to set them in a pretty nice spot.
Torino having a bit of a difficult time against Curious. God Eater might be getting low as well on the Belka. Hard for him to get away from this one, especially with the Richter chasing him down. The hook is going to miss, though, and that will make it very difficult for Miso Sneaky to continue to try to chase the Belka. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Survivor getting eaten to death by the wolves. Can he put the spotlight onto him? The Crash Bang Boom is going to come through to try to stop it, and the fireworks have not quite killed off Survivor just yet, even though they've been set off in his face. They're going to turn around, get the kill onto Stark, and again, this regen is very difficult to work with.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they really need to start prioritizing flight against this composition. Grab the Plague Lord, try and reduce some of this healing where possible, because without that, they're going to really struggle to deal against it. It'd be nice to see CMS Tark grab it as soon as possible. However, being so far behind means he's not getting that anytime soon.
Maybe Miso Sneaky can come around the backside here on the Crazy Fool. Starts it off with the Cryosysm. And it's really easy to catch out a phase with that ability. Pulled through the Hoarfrost, and Crazy Fool will be caught out on the backside of this one. So Survivor gets away. The phase not so lucky, and that's part of the puzzle of shutting down this combo. We'll see if Bronze Army can continue to do that.
Yeah. Again, it's what, 8 minutes into the game, Fangtooth is up. Neither team has actually been prioritizing it just yet. Torino, wow, look at that damage coming
down
out.
The rocks, man. That's a lot of damage.
This is one of the main reasons. I mean, even though they did lower the damage on the rock, he's got a new ability now on the right click that still does a lot combined. And again, he's got that black hole. I'm really liking the Gideon pick. Obviously, it's super strong and it provides so much, and Griever has been caught out here.
Yep, Rock's dropped on his face. Survivor blocking his Egres from the situation, and another pretty easy kill for Arctic Wolves. I mean, you say you like the Gideon pick, but the thing is he's nearly always banned out, yeah. So I guess you're lucky that it got through.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Like, I mean, the black hole big one-way combo is always like brilliant as a spectator to see it happening, but as playing against it can be a little bit oppressive.
Yeah, it can be depressing to play against the Gideon nowadays, but the fun thing is, in regular Paragon, you can have mirror picks. That's what makes it fun. First Fangtooth will be played and taken by Arctic Wolves here. So they get a nice little spot of gold into their pouches here. It's actually pretty substantial when you really think about it. Enough to pick up 1 pip for each player. So nice little pickup for them, and that'll put them on a bit more of the snowball that they've already been on, building it up through this game.
Yeah, it's been growing ever so greatly. What, it's 16k, 17k difference right now on the board in gold. We already see Tyrone actually grabbing a growth totem with Gideon, given that extra bit of health over time. I think this goes, that's going to be pretty helpful. I mean, we talk about growth totem not being picked as much nowadays because the game's finished too soon, which is necessarily true, but it's still a card you can grab for free. It gives you some stats for free. You don't have to necessarily spend any points. So it goes as a nice filler card as well to any other card you want to build later on, and takes up a good slot.
Looks like Survivor. Oh, nice pull it away by Crazy Fool out of trouble. Meanwhile, Cranky Trashcan is going to find Griever inside the middle of the river. Nibori here to help with the rad rounds, but Survivor is going to play the drums right in the middle of everybody. Crash Bang Boom comes on through. Taurino looking for a good black hole. Hasn't used it just yet. Miso Sneaky. Maybe he's just waiting for the cryo system to come out, but it's not going to come anytime soon. Taurino is going to get away from Stark. And the Wolves not going to kill him just yet. Crazy Fool is ready to block him out as much as possible. The rocks will continue to come through from Taurino. Are they're killing OP? Hello?
Yeah, they have enough regen to just take it, I believe. Like, I mean, they have FaZe and Narbash giving everyone enough help to just survive, and I think that is going to be a 12-minute OP on the board.
That is actually ridiculous. So they get 3 people down and say that's enough to go for the Orb Prime. He's going to try to keep himself alive. Stark actually comes through, and he stole it. He stole the OP. That's actually hilarious.
Now have OP on the side of Bronze Army.
Okay, this game's over. We're gonna pull this train around, and we're gonna turn it right back on its caboose. Bronze Army, hello. They picked up the phone and they answered Arctic Wolves' aggression here by taking the OP. Stark coming in with a pretty nice play.
That is exactly what they needed to have a comeback in this game. I mean, they had Zetchin on the board. No, they didn't even have Zetchin. That's how he's able to take it. No Zetchin on the... Oh, wait. Cranky's just bugged out for me. He might have had Zetchin. I have no idea. So, but ideally, Cranky should have had Zetchin on the board and been able to...
just picked it up now.
Yeah, that lost them that prime. They could have had a clean secured there, and he was able to get it stolen from him.
Well, they still want to try to get some kills anyway. Crash Bang Boom with a black hole on top of it. Taurino is going to get just chunked down the middle of the Tesla Dome. Can't really move too much during that ultimate, and Korea's going to get eaten alive. Miso Sneaky will be hit by the Seismic Assault. Crazy Fool wants to get in on the action. The Hoarfrost isn't going to stop anything from going on. So even though Arctic Wolves have lost the OP, they still took a great fight against Bronze Army, and they're going to be able to go for Fangtooth.
Yeah, they still have a great lead in power overall, so even though they did manage to steal Prime, gain some of that gold deficit back, they still are substantially behind overall. Still sitting at about like 18k on my screen, which is pretty far behind Prime. All that does is put them near equal footing, to be honest. And we saw that burst coming out from the side of Arctic Wolves, and they couldn't deal with that.
Now the tier 1 tower is in danger from Arctic Wolves. We've also got Cranky Trashcan chasing down Grievertron, who is almost caught in no man's land at this point. Luckily for him, the energy lance is not going to hit, and that rock is going to get betrayed by the pillars over inside the blue side jungle. So Arctic will still want to get something done here. Survivor will be plucked right out by Grievertron, but the pluck goes back on the other way from Crazy Fool. Miso Sneaky, yeah, Miso Sneaky really wants to get something done here. Puts down the cryo system, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Arctic Wolves are hardly dying at all. Crazy Fool has to be taken down. He's going to get caught by the Hoarfrost. Now he's away from the Narbash, getting the regen once again. It's so hard to even take down a FaZe. CMS Stark has the Wolves going around him. Oh yeah, they're just going to put everything onto the FaZe, kill off Crazy Fool. That's fine. But the rest of the team is really starting to take a bit of a beating. God Eater versus Koreas. He's probably going to take down the Gaijin in just a second. And Taurino is going to chase down Stark here. Taurino still chasing him down. Needs a little bit more mana to make things happen. Throws the Comet. Doesn't manage to hit anybody with it. And that's going to be the end of the aggression, only losing one, I guess, for each side. A little bit surprising after all of the damage that went down.
They are looking to get these tier 2s, get these jump pads turned off. On the side of Arctic Wolves, I am liking Cranky's build. He's gone for that Thorn Yomi. I think it's the first one we've seen today. I love the card, especially with against high burst compositions. If you just activate it at the key moment, so if you've got a gadget sticky mine and Shimmy jumping on you, turn it on, reflect 65% of that back, and you're going to be sitting very healthy on a rampage, especially with all that regen you've also stacked up as well.
Grievertron just getting demolished inside the lane as God Eater comes in with Taurino. Correos gets into the fight. Dark Rift is going to get Taurino away from it. I guess God Eater just died. He looks like he's been put in timeout, staring at the wall. Yeah, he's been put in timeout.
He's been very bad.
Yeah, very bad, Belka.
Okay, so Fangtooth is coming up again. We have been seeing some great control here from Arctic Wolves, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just go and take that again for free. And this time it's looking like the lead is still in their favor. I mean, even though they had that prime on the side of Bronze Army that from before they managed to steal it, they didn't get anything out of it. In fact, they end up still losing fights. So it's looking still pretty rough for them.
Yeah, it is looking pretty rough, and Arctic Wolves are looking to make it even rougher, like a dog. That was weird. Anyway, they're going to kill the Fangtooth here. They've got pretty much everybody around it. God Eater is back on the map, or maybe still in timeout. Who knows? Because he still looks like he's over in the right lane staring at the wall. But the Fangtooth will be taken. Rock just kind of goes through everything. Fangtooth not having the best day. I'm actually interested to see if that model changes in the near future. I think it's something that was hinted at by KL, that the Fangtooth is something that we may end up seeing changes for. Stark has to run away from Tal and Survivor and God Eater. Eventually will die. So that's a bit unfortunate for him. Getting caught out going for God Eater a little bit. But the aggression keeps on coming for Arctic Wolves. They've already taken a tier 2 tower in the mid lane, so maybe it's just time to take an inhib at this point.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They have this double support composition. They don't actually have a carry. So hitting these objectives isn't really a thing for them. They have to really just go for the kills.
Yeah, they throw in the rock, and the kills they are definitely getting. Crowdism by Miso Sneaky on the 2. The Hoarfrost is going to keep them in. They just kind of hug each other a little bit. Cranky Trashcan needs a whole lot of love. Rock goes out on the Grievertron. Another rock from the beginning is there, and Survivor is more than able to just keep on putting the drumsticks to the face. Survivor may end up falling. Actually does. More replay bugs are fun. But they do end up killing the inhib.
Yeah, they got the objective they needed, especially with Prime coming up soon. They actually don't want to be sticking around here for that much longer.
Or maybe they do. Stark is in a bit of trouble, tries to get the all-kill going, but it's still not really effective from him, much like an old Pokemon game. Miso Sneaky in the middle of everyone, still trying to get the Hoarfrost down, trying to be as effective as possible as the Aurora. Nabori will get hit. He's definitely bugged out at this point, but, well, he's not going to die here. It's actually going to be Taurino falling back with his team.
There is that Prime spawning. Will they go straight for it? I think they will. They might wait for the river buff.
They kind of need their team to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they can take it fairly quickly. They have a lot of regen. What they're missing is their mana pools at the moment. So regen all that mana back up and then look for this Prime. And I don't think we see Bronze Army really have much they can do about it. They're going to lose another tier 2 here as well to the minion waves that are coming in. And if they set up the waves perfectly, this should be a nice, simple, secure on Prime for Arctic Wolves.
Alright, let's go ahead and fix some of these replay bugs. I'm at 2050 on the in-game timer. Or the timeline.
21 or 2050?
2050.
Okay.
Alright, let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, let's see where Belka is. Still dead. Now she's alive.
Yeah, she's
alive
now.
We could probably look at the the gold before everything gets messed up again, and it is a 20,000 gold lead in favor of Arctic Wolves as Stark is starting to get, again, a little bit more damage done to him in this lane, getting caught out once again. The Energy Lance is going to keep him rooted there for a little bit. They need to get a stun on the Stark, and here's a Crash Bang Boom. That would definitely do the job. Miso sneaky. Ooh, nearly getting caught out by it. Crazy Fool will just pull him out by the skin of his teeth there. The core is starting to take some damage down to 95%. OP has respawned, so hopefully Arctic Wolves don't have it stolen from them this time around. Cranky Trash Can does, I believe, still have the Flame of Zekken on his side, so it should be a lot more difficult to steal it from Arctic Wolves, but Bronze Army want to try. They have to try. Here comes Miso sneaky, but he's getting stunned out before he can get the Cryosystem down. Beautiful Seismic Assault from Arctic Wolves, and they still want to keep on going. Nabori getting hit in the noggin with a rock. Nabori, he's going to be taken down, and meanwhile, we've still got God Eater doing things in the mid lane. Taurino ready with some rocks, and God Eater, oh, Skewer will keep the Richter alive for a little bit longer, but not that much longer. It's time for OP. It's a full 5-man, well, almost a full 5-man team wipe, as CM Stark was dead for the majority of that fight, but he's back now. But OP is now back on to Arctic Wolves, something that maybe should have happened early in this game, but definitely has happened now.
Yeah, they're going to just want to close this out. They're taking the safe route instead of just rushing down the mid lane to try and hit the core. They're going to make sure, even if we fail the fight, we're going to have at least 2 inhibitors down. Guarantee the perfect setup here to start hitting this core.
So Arctic Wolves, they've been ahead of the curve pretty much the entire time this game, except when Stark took the OP from them. It's time for a cryo. Miso sneaky again, getting hit by the Seismic Assault in the middle of that ultimate, and Crazy Fool is just staring at the Velka, wondering why exactly his team is so good at hitting the Seismic Assault every single time that Sneaky decides to go in. Seismic Assault gonna hit again on the Stark, and that's gonna be the end of him. Cranky Trashkin has to get away from the single target damage that is the core, but not for long, because his team is ready to make the play onto it and make the game-ending sounds. Taurino in the middle of the black hole, looking like he's having some kind of contortion, but in the end, it's going to be Crazy Fool and the rest of the Arctic Wolves who take the victory here in game number 2, putting them into the semifinals of PCL 11.
Really strong showing. The double support comp worked out for them in the end. That lane, while it looked like at points they could have lost, that lane still ended up holding strong, and the output from Gideon was enough to justify having a double support, which is just showing the strength of Gideon. The Black Holes were on point throughout the game, and very well played, Dr. Wolves. So
I guess we shouldn't let the Gideon through ever again. I don't know if we're going to see it the rest of this event. It was interesting to see it here, but we'll have to see if the draft changed throughout. Maybe to take care of some of those player-specific bans that we talked about earlier. But Gems, that's going to do it for our 3rd quarterfinal of the day. Only one more to go, and we'll have that one for you guys after a short break as we get things set up for our final quarterfinal of the day.